Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I made a video today about an article that stated that some Russian officials warned the ones who have satellites up there that if they allow the Ukrainians to use them for gathering information and intelligence, or provide the Ukrainians with the intelligence by using those satellites, the Russians will shoot them down, or might shoot them down. Well, obviously the reaction to these statements were swift, and let's see what the Americans said. This article comes from an Arab mass media outlet. It's called Al Mayadeen, and its title is US to respond appropriately if Russia attacks satellites, Kirby says. So it says here that as Elon Musk deploys his satellites to Ukraine, in the background, Russia suggests that satellites used for military purposes are a target. The United States will be responding in an appropriate quote-unquote way to any Russian attack against US commercial satellites, according to the White House on Thursday, today. This came after a Russian Foreign Ministry official asserted that the US use of commercial satellites in space for military purposes could render them targets. And it was not quite like that. And I'm quoting, "Any attack on US infrastructure will be met with an appropriate response in an appropriate way," end quote. John Kirby, National Security Council spokesperson, told reporters. The United States will, quote-unquote, hold Russia accountable for any such attack, should it occur, he said. I think the answer is 100% appropriate. But so is the Russians' statement, also appropriate. Now the thing is like this. Let's go further and read, and then we're going to analyze. Russian Foreign Ministry official Konstantin Vorontsov said Wednesday, speaking to the United Nations, that the use of commercial satellites, and I'm quoting, in outer space for military purposes, end quote, by Western countries is an, quote unquote, extremely dangerous trend, end quote. And then I am quoting again, these states do not realize that such actions in fact constitute indirect participation in military conflicts, end quote, Vorontsov said. And I'm quoting again, quasi-civilian infrastructure may become a legitimate target for retaliation, end quote. The Russian official did not specify which commercial satellites were being used. Well, so let's see what's going on with this situation that we are in. So the Russians say, for good reason, I would say, that if those satellites are used for my enemy to help against me, to fight against me, they are legitimate target. And I would say yes, of course. It's like this. It's like you're in a war, and you have let's say some binoculars. I gave this analogy before. You have some binoculars, and the binoculars are posted on a hill over there, and there's the enemy looking through the binoculars and sees my positions. Now the binoculars are owned by another country, but they are used by my enemy to observe my location. Now, are those binoculars legitimate targets? I say yes, 100%. Now, should the other country be angry if I blow up their binoculars that are used with them knowing by my enemy? I don't think so. You know that you pose that in order for my enemy to kill me. So if he's using your stuff to attack me or to get the upper hand and kill me, you bet your bottom dollar that I will blow it up. And what this guy is saying? This guy is saying, well, I have these binoculars, they're placed over there, but I'm allowing them to use them. So they know. They know that they are the weasels, the third parties, the ones that have the satellite. They know that they allow the Ukrainians to use the satellites. or willingly give information and intelligence coordinates of the Russian forces and troops and maneuvers. So you are actually helping my enemy. You are therefore my enemy because you picked a side, and you picked only that side, and you give him help to kill me, to beat me up. So you're a legitimate target. Those guys know, the Ukrainians know, and the Russians know. Everything comes down to this. Hey Russia, what are you gonna do about it? I know. Talk. Okay. Better save your energy and your breath, okay? Because you're not gonna do anything. This is what these guys are telling them. The Americans are telling the Russians, so what are you gonna do about it? If you hit it, we're gonna retaliate. They don't say we are wrong or we are right. They don't debate that with the weasels. No, because they're superior. They're exceptional. So they do not discuss with the Russians, hey, actually, no, it's not. They don't even discuss that. It's none of your business. So imagine that guy, when you tell him, I'm going to blow up your binoculars, he said, you know what, I'm going to shoot at you if you do that. So he's not even discussing the if that's a good thing or a bad thing or anything like that. No. So what should you do? Something or nothing. It's your choice. Talking, it just shows your impotence. Because when you say something, and say, I'm going to shoot them down, the other guy says, I dare you. Who's the stronger guy here? The guy who said, I'm going to shoot it down, but I will not? Or the guy who said, I dare you, I'm going to shoot you, you're going to see what's going to happen. And if I don't shoot it, what does that mean? That I'm afraid. Isn't it? So I have to. If I don't, that means this guy intimidated me. I'm afraid of him. Are you? Then why in the fuck you talk then? Keep your mouth shut and shut the fuck up and fight and die. That's basically what happens. Unless these guys, the Russians, are not going to, how should I put it, honestly and directly accept, they know it, but they don't accept it. They are still in kind of a denial, and they're afraid. And I don't get it. I mean, obviously, I don't get it because I don't have all the information they have. They know better. I guarantee you they know better. And I know it's not about being afraid or something like that. But they look at a cost-benefit here. I mean, they could shoot that down. What do you think the Americans are going to do? Are going to shoot the Russians down? Satellites? Probably. And then the Russians are going to shoot something else. It's going to escalate. Where will it end? To atomic bomb, because these guys are going to shoot. These guys are going to shoot. Well, one of this side, Ukraine. I'm taking Ukraine out of the equation. This is just guys that are a whore that's used by Americans now because it works. And then after the whore is dead and old, nobody will look at the whore anymore. It's just going to be gone. Not even retired. They want to bury it. Bury the whore. So this is Russia and America. You have to say this is what it is. Actually, it's just that they fight right now in Ukraine. But the problem is that Russians are dying. Americans are not dying. So you see, again, these guys, in my humble opinion, should have said and draw the first line in the sand in the 24th of February and say, whomever gives the Ukrainian one fucking dime, we're going to bomb the shit out of them. That's what probably they should have done. And I guarantee you that they would have moved that dime. They would have given that dime. And they should have retaliated. And then you have it all or nothing. But, as I said, they probably certainly they have the cards in front of them. So they kind of know what's going on. I don't know where it's going to go. It's just like, I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it. I'm hitting here, but he's hitting here. These guys, United States, hits the Russians from a distance. I gave this analogy many times. It's like a tiger trainer. If you went to the circus and you see a tiger in a cage and you see the trainer. The trainer has two things. One is the whip, and the other one is a long pole. Right? So the whip right here is Ukraine, and the pole is the NATO. That's what they do. And the tiger's over there. The tiger might know that this is the handler of the whip. It's going to hurt the tiger, and the tiger tries to grab the whip. And with the poke again, poke it, poke, draw attention, poke. And I can use this one and smack you if I want. But the tiger will not attack the trainer unless it just gets crazy and just attacks and gets through this and finds you and gets you. But other than that, it's going to fight with the whip and with the pole. So this United States right here, brave. Not brave, very smart. It's smart because the tiger doesn't want to engage the trainer. Knows exactly that the trainer is the one handling everything here. He just is afraid, or maybe doesn't want to go there. Because sometimes you are not afraid of things. Let's say someone attacks on the street, and you say, I can fuck him up, but probably he's going to break my nose. So I'm going to fuck him up, he breaks my nose, what do I want? I'm just saying, I'm giving an example. So I'm going to be roughed up a little bit, maybe I get knocked out, you know? Should I get, or oh, you want what? You want my wallet? Here it is. Bum. Okay? So I'm giving him the wallet. So this is the way it goes. Maybe the Russians, I mean not maybe, I'm certain that they know what's going on here. The whip and the pole. The thing is, they have their calculations. They're probably going to drag the war like this until the West dies economically. Or gets to a point where they say, fuck America, stop the shit. And probably the Russians are waiting. That's the only way I can see this played right now. The Russians said, okay, we're going to have heat, we're going to have food, we're going to have a lower standard of living. This guy's definitely going to have a lower standard of living right now. And we're waiting until their population will change their regimes and will change, and they will pressure the Americans, which will pressure tell the 4 Jews in Ukraine to go and talk to Putin. Unless Putin dies in 3 days and a weasel takes over and bends over, takes his pants down and say, let's go, becomes a Ukraine. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.